The Petroleum Industry Act was signed into law by the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria on the 16th of August 2021. Now, barely 3 months after, the Punch newspaper on Monday, the 1st of November 2021, reports that Nigeria has lost 898.93 billion naira to pipeline vandalism and theft in 9 months. Experts also say vandalism is dangerous and is crippling revenue generation. Now, joining us this morning is Mr. Kenneth Okonkwo. He is an energy analyst with an active presence in the downstream oil sector. He will be helping us understand the PIA and the implications of this report. Good morning, Mr. Kenneth.
Good morning, Tony.
Wonderful to have you with us in the studio this morning.
My pleasure.
Wonderful. We were talking about the report from the Punch newspaper on Monday, and we're bringing you in now as an energy analyst to help us understand the PIA, your general thoughts on the Petroleum Industry Act. So it was signed into law on the 16th of August 2021, and a lot has happened over that time. It's just 3 months after that, and then the reports on the Punch newspaper says 898.93 billion naira has been lost to vandalism. Now, I'm asking you for your general thoughts on the PIA, how far it has come, how well it is doing, and all of that.
Okay, amazing. Tony, glad to be on the show this morning. The PA, the Petroleum Industry Act, has come a long way. It's been on the conversation since the sixth National Assembly, and coming in, I mean, the push, having signed it by the President, His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari, on the 16th of August 2021, we were expecting, or we had some expectations, which have started being met. Some of those expectations we had was that within 6 months, or within the first 6 months, NNPC would be incorporated into NNPC Limited. Within the first 6 months, we are going to have all the regulatory agencies hitherto transformed into two different bodies. One is the Upstream Regulatory Commission. The second one is the Nigerian Midstream and Upstream Regulatory Authority, MPRA, Petroleum Regulatory Authorities, and this has been done. DPR is defunct, PEF is defunct, PPPRA, the Petroleum Product Pricing Regulatory Agency Authority has been scrapped. A lot of things are coming into place, and I think the PIA is a good idea. It's a good idea for the oil and gas industry for a lot of reasons. It kind of help the industry. No, not a kind of. It would help balance the industry. It puts a back and a cushion behind the industry and helps the industry have a law to run with. So much so that the industry is not just working on a tightrope, and due to this, I mean, just let me share you a brief of some of the things that we're expecting. I've told you about NNPC incorporating into a limited. I've told you about merging different agencies together, and I've also so there were amendments in the royalty rate. I mean, they reduced the royalty rate. For instance, royalty on onshore, I mean, royalty rate per month, because royalties are paid to the host communities that are housing this, or that are from which our crude oil is being mined, from which the pipelines go through, and all that stuff. Onshore, the communities that host onshore, it was from 18% to 15%. Shallow water from 16% to 12.5%. Deep offshore was from 10% to 7.5%. Frontier basins retained at 7.5%. Royalty on the production of natural gas and natural gas liquids was reduced from 7.5% to 5%, and also reduction of royalty rate for natural gas produced and utilized in the country from 5% to 2.5% per month All right. Yeah. The Host Communities Development Trust Fund, which stirred a lot of conversation, was moved from 10% to about 3%. A lot of fundings came up. Subsidy question is that subsidy would be eradicated. Of course, we are currently running a partially deregulated downstream. Of course, subsidy comes in with the downstream industry. So, in all honesty, PIA is a great idea for the downstream the oil and gas industry in the country. All right, it
So,
brings
so
in a
both,
lot of
so both,
inclusion.
both upstream, middle stream, and downstream are all
Upstream,
benefiting
midstream,
from
downstream.
PIA.
It's a good idea for
For
the
your
oil and
sector.
gas industry. Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. So we applaud this performance of the PIA, how well it has done so far. Now, the next question is vandalism and how the PIA comes to play.
Okay, vandalism. Vandalism is an age-long menace in the industry, especially because for so many reasons, infrastructure deficit. When I mean, vandalism first of all is a crime. All right.
Yes,
Secondly, some 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 host communities or some members of some host communities might want to say, you know what, vandalism is our way of saying you guys did not pay us, or you guys are not, we the masses are not getting value
from
for
this.
I mean the royalties that are being sent. Maybe it's being taken by their chiefs or senior men. But however, vandalism is age long, it's as old as the industry, it is a crime, and it is really ripping up the industry. I mean, um beyond just the pipes that are being vandalized, all right, there is also the risk of the products that are lost. There is also the risk of lives that are lost. There's also the risk of the other amenities of, you know, facilities that get to go missing because of vandalism. I mean, in Abulegba, there was a major fire accident that happened just because people were trying to vandalize products. I mean, there's been it's never funny. The effects of vandalization, especially when it concerns fire and all that hazards, is crazy. Vandalism is as old as the industry. To just give you a bit of cap, there's been a major sabotage in the nation's oil and gas industry. I mean, just close by report from January 2019 to about September 2020. Over 1,000 pipelines points have been vandalized. And the worst part is this: in fixing these pipelines that have been vandalized, you spend about the country spends billions of naira. In fact, if you do the maths, it enters into very serious money, which of course is a menace, is sabotaging the industry. I mean, I was doing a bit of research. We spent close to about 890 billion on subsidy, and the report coming from the news a few days ago was that we spent about another 890 something billion trying to, on because I mean we've lost 890 something billion
Wow.
basis vandalization. So if you match it to just as subsidy is eating us, I think vandalization is also eating us even more because
Equally.
it's not taking us forward. It's like one step forward, 5 steps or 10 steps backward. You know, so that's that about vandalization. It's a crime. I am very sure. Uh, yeah, the authorities are really working hard to curb it. I mean, they bring out solutions like, for instance, they say they bring in NSCD. NSCDC is supposed to protect the nation's assets. There are a couple of other conversations that are going in around to curbing vandalism in the country.
Now, for communities that have their pipelines vandalized and their products stolen, what is the
Hmm.
downfall on them?
When you say downfall, how do you mean exactly?
Okay,
Can you just
so because of the PIA, we know that there's a percentage of royalties that is given out to these
hmm,
host communities or communities where pipelines run through. Now, what I'm asking is,
hmm.
cause of vandalization, you mentioned that we lose property, you lose materials as well. Now, is their royalties in any way distorted or disrupted because of this?
Yeah, no. Okay, so let me take it again. First of all, royalties have been reduced. Of course, taking into cognizance the humongous cost of running, maintaining pipelines, maintaining product supply, uh, solving the problem of vandalization, or well, trying to, will I say, repair vandalized pipelines and all that. So they put that in cognizance and they say, you know what, this our new rate, our new royalty rate can solve. I mean, can take off that. I mean, for instance, you were giving 10% host community fund, and then you reduce it to 3%. Think about 7% savings. If you were, for instance, giving 7.5% and you reduce it to 5%, think about 2.5%
2.5
saving.
savings.
If you were giving 10% before and you start giving 2.5 or 5%, you're saving something. So, first of all, we established that we are saving something from the new rate. Secondly, I mean, the PIA also, the act also covers for, I mean, communities in which vandalization takes place. All right. So if vandalization takes place, for instance, in Mosimi, all right, the communities or whatever it is that the host community, Mosimi, for instance, is supposed to get, all right, will be deducted. It will be affected basis the cost that it will, I mean, that will be needed to, the cost that will be needed to repair or replace the pipeline. The act makes it so much so that a community that is affected by pipeline vandalization. So the act now makes it possible for people, for communities to now be invested, or for communities to now raise up or set up vigilantes that ensures that this government asset or this asset of national value is not vandalized. So the communities are now involved, because what it means is if they vandalize your pipeline, the royalties that is due to you will not come the way you are expecting it. And of course, it's a welcome development. It makes a lot of sense. I mean, it makes the communities
More
invested
proactive.
in the national asset, and this is good. This is good stuff. This is good,
Wonderful, wonderful.
good idea.
Now,
Yeah.
unfortunately, this is all we can take for this discussion. Mr. Kenneth, thank you for helping us shed some light on the PIA, the progresses the government has made, helping us understand the royalties and how communities can be more proactive in ensuring that vandalization is reduced and curbed, and our products and services are, and the revenue gotten from them come back into the sectors that they are meant to come into, and the lives for Nigerians are generally improved. Mr. Kenneth, once again, thank you for joining us this morning. It was a pleasure having
Thank
you.
you very much, Tolu. Thank you. Thank you.
We hope
Thank you.
to have you on the show some other time with a different conversation entirely. If you oblige us,
Thank you. Thank
wonderful.
you. I'll be glad. Thank you.